What's going on, guys? Superspan here. Today's going to be a little bit different of a video. I haven't really recorded in a while, so I'm really sorry about that. I've been kind of focusing on a lot of other stuff. Um, as everybody knows, it's been a real crazy year, more so a crazy month. It seems like the world is pretty much ending, but, obviously I'm joking. Um, it's been crazy, yeah. Basketball is suspended. Obviously, everybody knows that. March Madness is suspended as well. MLB, NFL banned players, and just basically everybody in the NFL, essentially from traveling. We all know there's a travel ban to Europe and all those other places, basically. Um, Personally, my work closed for at least 2 weeks, probably another week or even longer. Who knows? But yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough, but I've been surviving. Luckily, I have my fiance and my dog to keep me company. Also play a lot of 2K, a lot of video games, stuff like that. But yeah, with that being said, still very fortunate to be healthy, safe, and very fortunate to have people in my life who help me stay that way. Um, but let's get into the subject that I really wanted to talk about. I really wanted to talk today about how my personal life has been affected since the NBA has been suspended. As many of you know, or can already tell, even if you just started watching this video, I am a big Bulls fan myself. Love the Chicago Bulls, always have, always will. Even though this season hasn't really been going too great for us, I've still watched every single game and enjoyed doing so, even though again it hasn't been going so great. I miss it. I miss it a lot. I've heard several options that they might consider if the season does end up resuming. One is basically just starting from the playoffs with the current seeding and everything. And I think honestly that'd be the best option. Another thing, I think I heard that they would just resume the regular season as it was, the amount of games we had left, the schedule, whatever. And then three, I heard they would just cancel it altogether. At this point, that honestly, unfortunately, seems like the option that's gonna happen. There was another one. I'm trying to think. I believe it was like they would cancel it, but they would like, this is just a rumor. I didn't really hear from any sort of official source or website or anything like that, but I heard that they would consider just crowning whoever had the best record NBA champions or something like that, which I think would be just dumb because that would just be a fake ring. I want to say it's the Lakers at this point. That's what I heard at least. Which would mean that LeBron gets his fourth ring. I want to say, yeah, I think he gets his fourth ring. Um, which I mean, look, yeah, I guess it would technically, by rule, make him an NBA champion. But I think he would know, and of course the rest of us would know that that's just a that's not a real championship in my opinion. I don't really know if my phone cut off there. It just notified me that I have 20% battery remaining. So I'm sorry if that kind of cut out. I was just saying LeBron. I don't really think that would be, well, just the Lakers in general. I don't really think that would be a real championship ring. I think they would all sort of know that. By rule, if that were to be the rule that they would put in place, okay. I mean, still, you would still get a lot of people like, oh, that wasn't a real championship. You didn't win any sort of playoff games. No, it wouldn't have been a. In my opinion, that shouldn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen. I think if they were to cancel the season, I think they should just make everything just cancel everything. Don't give anybody championship rings or anything like that. I guess you could give give out awards like MVP, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, stuff like that, because there was enough games played by rule. I'm not sure what the specific amount of games are for to get Rookie of the Year, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, but I think I know for a fact they played enough games for that. But anyway, so if this is the end of the NBA season, I also just want to kind of talk about my thoughts of the Chicago Bulls. I don't think there's going to be any clips in this video. It's just going to be me talking, just because I kind of want to get back into the flow of YouTube. Like I said, I've just been focusing on other things. So really happy to be recording this right now for you guys. But anyway, so my specific thoughts on this current NBA season. For one, I mean, for the Chicago Bulls, it's been a very disappointing season. Came into the year with a lot of optimism for some reason. I say for some reason because it seems every year, at least for the past couple years, we've essentially had the same roster. I mean, obviously we had Jabari Parker last year, Bobby Portis. I want to say we even had Mirotic last year. I forget. Honestly, it's irrelevant. He's in like Madrid or something like that. But we went into this year with a lot of optimism. There was talks of trying to make the playoffs and everything, and very early on, you could obviously tell that wasn't going to happen. We just weren't closing out games, even when we were healthy. Lauri Markkanen hasn't really had the best year, which I personally think that's due to injuries. A lot of people say, that is due to injuries, or he's just regressing. I don't think he's regressing. He did come back, I believe, like a few games before the NBA suspended the season. Not exact. I think it was like a few games. He didn't really play that well at that point. Otto Porter came back. But anyway, I digress. So, very early on, you could kind of tell that things weren't progressing. We weren't closing out games, except for that game against Charlotte, which was amazing. The Zach LaVine game. Otto Porter got hurt very early on, but I will say, I really like Otto Porter. Even when he came back, he seemed like he could be a valuable asset to the team moving forward. It really just depends on the kind of money that he asks for in this upcoming offseason. Let's see, Kobe White. Kobe White had a fantastic year. There was obviously a stretch where he wasn't playing very well, and that's fine because he's a rookie. But I think that guy is very special. I think he's a great NBA player. I think he could honestly be a star in this league. Just look at the way he runs the offense. He just takes over the game. Him and Zach LaVine, when they're in together, it's amazing. I mean, any Bulls fan would agree with me that when Zach LaVine and Kobe White are in the game at the same time, it's over. It's so much fun to watch. Kobe White is a very up-tempo styled player. He can shoot the ball very well. He is a streaky shooter, but he can shoot the ball very well. And I think a big part of him being a streaky shooter is because he's a rookie. But he's a very, very skilled basketball player. Lauri Markkanen, his third year wasn't good. It wasn't up to Lauri Markkanen's standards. He shot the ball very poor. Sorry, something in my throat. But he shot the ball very poorly, and obviously that's not good. He didn't really attack the rim very often. It didn't seem like. I think honestly though that's sort of in part due to the coach's play style. Sort of the plays that he's drawing up and everything might not be including Lauri a lot. I don't know why you would do that, especially the way Lauri's been playing the last couple years, his first 2 years. But it is what it is. You can't entirely blame it on the coach. I understand that. So I'll move on. So moving on to Zach LaVine. He is one of my favorite players in the league. I actually have his jersey on right now. But he had a fantastic year. I think he should have been an all-star. Some people might argue against that. I think he should have been an all-star over Kyle Lowry specifically, but that might just be me being biased. I don't know. It probably is. But still, you look at his stats, his PER, and everything like that, it's better than Kyle Lowry. Yeah, sure, Kyle Lowry's on a winning team, and I know that I heard all the notions. Oh, okay, well, you want your all-star players to be on winning teams. Well, okay, then explain Trae Young. Come on. I mean, he's got nobody else except for John Collins and Kevin Herter, and then half of like Cam Reddish or whatever. I don't even know what's going on with him. I really didn't pay attention to him. But anyway, I'm not trying to spark a debate, but whatever. Trae Young's a very good player. I think he did deserve to be a starter, in my personal opinion. But my argument is, okay, well, if you don't think a player that's playing well on a losing team should be an all-star, then why was he a starter? I mean, I know he's averaging darn near 30 points per game. I think he's averaging 29 points per game, and he's a beast. But it's like, if that's the point you guys want to make, the NBA wants to make, then he shouldn't have been a starter at least. I agree that he should have been an all-star, but I also agree that Zach LaVine should have been an all-star, especially in Chicago. And because they did that, they missed out on Zach LaVine being in the dunk contest, because he said if he was going to be an all-star, he would have done both the three-point and the dunk contest. But anyway, I think he had a fantastic year. I think he's going to be a superstar in this league, and I really hope the Bulls never trade him, because that was another thing that scared me, that there was a lot of trade rumors coming up, which I think would have been absolutely ridiculous. But I think they should keep him. I think he's a superstar in this league. He just needs to work on his defense, which he did improve on in specific areas like steals and I believe his defensive plus minus. I think he was a plus defender this year. That's what I heard, and obviously that is a improvement, because he's not really known. He's known as being a bad defender. It's not like he's not known as being. He's known as being a bad defender. So, I mean, this guy's a hard worker. You see all the tapes and all the videos and everything of his workouts with his dad in the offseason, just in general. He's a hard worker, and I really do believe that, and I think that he can progress even more moving forward. So I really like him. I really think they should continue to build around him and keep him and Lowry and Kobe, that sort of group, together. Wendell Carter. Moving on to Wendell Carter, one of my other favorite players. I absolutely love him. He was averaging a double-double this year. He was injured for a really long time, but he was averaging a double-double. You can really tell when he's in the game defensively and in terms of rebounding. He really sort of takes control of that aspect, and that's something that you really, really need in today's NBA, and in the NBA in general. When you can rebound like that and defend the rim like that, you really sort of you make players afraid to go to the rim, and I think that's what he did very well, and I really, really like him. He needs to work on his three-point shot. I mean, I know he's not really a three-point shooter, but he occasionally does shoot the three. And it's just terrible. I think he can do it, though. I think he's another hardworking guy. He definitely seems like a blue-collar type of guy, and I really, really like him. I absolutely love defense, rebounding, all that sort of stuff, and when a player can do that, they've won my fandom for sure. Speaking of defense, rebounding, and, well, finishing around the rim, we got Daniel Gafford, who is the steal of the year, I think. I really, really, really like him. His blocking, his rebounding, I don't think is the best actually, but his blocking, his finishing around the rim. I mean, that guy definitely had a chip on his shoulder for getting picked in the second round. He's a beast. If you watched him play, he definitely put the league on notice. Basically saying that he should have been picked higher. I think that's evident, but he had a very fantastic year. He is also injured for a little while there, but when he came back, even before he got injured and when he came back, he still provided some great rim protection and finishing around the rim, which again is very, very needed. Who else do we have? Man, we have Tomas Satoransky. I think he was one of the most disappointing players because we got him sort of to be our starting point guard, and I guess sort of start over Kobe White, and he was supposed to be. My dog is snoring over there. He was supposed to be a good 3-point shooter, basically a good scorer, and overall he just didn't really do what he was brought here to do. I personally wouldn't miss him too much if he ended up getting traded or whatever they would have to do. Not really much more to say about him. So I'm going to move on to, I was trying to think. We're going to move on to guys like Denzel Valentine, Luke Cornett, and Felicio. I think all those guys could and should be gone this offseason. I mean, maybe if you can sort of keep Denzel on a cheap year. I think this was his third year, if I'm not mistaken. Third or second year. I think it was his third year, actually. Third or fourth, maybe. I think so. His rookie contract might be up. I mean, if you can keep him on like a short contract, but I don't see them doing that. I personally thought he was good off the bench. His 3-point shooting at times. I think he's a streaky shooter, but he is a shooter nonetheless. But I think they should at least try to consider him if nobody else, no other free agent shooters are out there for us to get. Obviously, Felicio needs to go. That contract is horrible. I don't even know why they ever thought about that. Cornette was he was pretty bad. Pretty bad. But there were times where he actually played pretty well. But get rid of him. Get him out of here. Send him to Orlando, Cleveland, any of those teams that I don't know. I don't even think anybody needs him. I think he can honestly he should go overseas in my opinion. But then last but not least, we're gonna move on to Thaddeus Young. I really liked him. I thought he was a good shooter. Definitely replaced Larry Markkinen pretty well when he was injured. When Wendell was injured, those kind of moments were really hard. But I think he did really well. I think he was a very good sort of energizer bunny. He is a mentor to the young guys. I personally really really like him. So I think they should keep him. I was really upset when I heard all the rumors that he wanted to get traded and all that sort of stuff. I really hope his opinion changed because he did start to get more minutes. Jim Boylan wasn't playing him very much, but he did start to get more minutes towards the end of that season, if that is the end of the season. And then finally, the coach, Jim Boylan, just get him out of here. Just get him out of here. He's terrible. He's bad. He's not good. He's just awful, horrendous, tremendously terrible. I did not like him. I don't like him. I don't think he's a smart coach. I don't think that he's a good fit for this team. I know he's been in the league for a while, and for some reason the front office trusts him, and even now, with all the rumors going around that we could be looking for a new GM, and basically shifting the whole front office around, I think, there were rumors that they were looking for a Jim Boylan friendly GM, which that would be a disaster. That would set the city on fire, and I don't think they should do that. I think they should just get rid of him altogether. His game planning is terrible. His lineups are terrible. He obviously has lost the locker room. I don't know what this whole thing about calling timeouts when you're down 10 with like 20 seconds left is all about. When I say that, I mean I don't know why he's doing that. I understand why players get pissed off because of that. So it is what it is. I think they should fire him. I think if they get anybody that has half a brain, they would realize that they should fire him, and they would. But anyway, overall, it was a disappointing season, but I still love my Chicago Bulls. Can't wait to see what happens next season. I really, really hope progression does happen. I hope change happens. I hope They keep Zach LaVine, Kobe White, Lowry, all these guys, even Otto Porter, Wendell Carter, or just do what you got to do if you can get Anthony Davis, please. But I know that's not going to happen, please. I am not that delusional. So anyway, guys, sorry for the long video, but I really kind of wanted to get a lot of this off my chest. I love you guys so much. Please stay safe out there. Stay inside if you don't have to go to work, unless you got to go to the grocery store or anything like that, guys. Please be safe out there. I love you guys so much. Appreciate you, and I'll see you guys next time.